So I want you to not overthink breakfast. So I'm just going to show you a few of the things that I make. Obviously I'll do it a bit at a time. Today I'm just having scrambled eggs with cottage cheese. It's really high in protein, keeps me full, and it's really quick to make. So this is sort of a rotation at the moment. And depending on whether you've had VSG surgery, gastric sleeve, or any kind of weight loss surgery, or not, you just for thyroid reasons or whatever that you're following this, then you can decide how many eggs you have. So easy. All right, 2 eggs at the moment. Think how much cottage cheese you put in. You don't need to measure it or anything like that. Just put in whatever you think works for you. At the moment, I can manage about 2 teaspoons. A bit of salt. You've done that. Your butter will be boiling. Whack it in. Scrambling. You keep scrambling. People like different amounts of scramble, so you do you. You'll see there's lots of steam coming off. That's from the cottage cheese. And so what I do now is I turn it off, and then I throw in a cube of butter and keep going till it's melted, which gives you your high fat. See how you like it? Little bowl. I keep these little bowls because they're just right for me. It's very tasty. And my husband just pointed out that it might look weird that I have such a big amount of salt here, but we get it from Ahmed in Bali, and it's the best tasting salt ever. It's got a real umami flavour, and I love it. So that's why we have a big container. Well, I'm home for lunch, and as we all know, lunch has to be quick if you're on the run. So I always keep in the fridge steak that has been cut up. Okay, I undercook my steak when I do this so that it's not too overcooked by the time I reheat it. Okay, so I'm gonna have steak with egg on top. Amounts, I know what amounts I can eat for my stage right now. You do whatever amount suits you. Heat up duck fat because that's my fat of choice right now. Doesn't smell and it tastes good. Duck fat is heated. I start with however much steak I think I can eat or want. If I overdo it and there's nobody here like my husband to clean it up for me, I throw it away, okay? Very quickly throwing it away rather than trying to have that extra bite. So I've turned it once, thinly, pretty much all it needs. Ahmed salt. It's a small plate. When I overcook the steak, I get it off as soon as it's ready. Not to overcook my egg, because what I'm searching for is the egg yolk being the sauce for the steak, because I don't always eat the egg white, but I always eat the yolk. Off now, because I know it's getting close. And the edges, so the white is cooked. And that is it. The yolk is the best bit. That is lunch. So that's what, a whole 5 minutes, if that. And it's delicious. Sometimes I'll do 2 eggs if I want more yolk, and sometimes I'll eat a bit of the white, not always. And that's me today. Happy Tuesday. Having eggs with cottage cheese again this morning. So I will speed through this for you. It's kind of my go-to at the moment, and I go through phases of sometimes just meat, like yesterday's lunch, or steak. So, but it used to be my go-to, and it takes me 5 minutes. So, gonna get on with it, because otherwise I'll be late for work. And I think it's delicious. Okay, so here's the key. Once you've had weight loss surgery, you want everything to be delicious. So if you're not enjoying it and looking forward to it, find something else, okay? That's a big key. Now, I'm just telling you this morning, so at lunchtime today, I'm meeting a friend for lunch. I'm gonna take you along, but because of copyright music and all that sort of hoo-ha, I don't know how much sound I'll be able to record. I will still record what I'm having for lunch because what I have out at a cafe is just as relevant to some people as what I'm having at home, because that's real life, right? We're not going to stop going out and going to friends. So what do you choose? What do you order? What can you order? So we will talk about that at lunchtime. So this is what I ordered: pulled pork Benny, pulled porky Benny, it seems. And what I ended up doing was just eating the pork and the eggs on top. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning. This morning, because on Carnivore you can have whatever you like, pretty much, as long as it's animal products. I am having drumsticks, which I'm going to throw in the air fryer while I put the washing out before I go to work. One of the things I like to keep prepped in the fridge is drumsticks because they're easy. I can eat two. I used to be able to only eat one, but essentially I cook them up in the oven in a bulk lot, keep them in the container in the fridge, then whack a couple in the air fryer. And while that's heating up, I am going to go put the washing on the line because a woman's work is never done. Happy Wednesday lunch, and I forgot to film and I had to put it away to go back to work, but I made sausages and steaks to refill the fridge supplies, and I had a little bit of steak and I had half a sausage. That wasn't my lunch, and now I'm topped up for a few more days. If ever I feel like, oh no, I shouldn't have cooked so many sausages or whatever, we're not going to eat them because I feel like something different, I simply put them in the freezer. I just keep a firm rotation of things in the fridge ready to go. All right, back to work for me. Good morning, happy Thursday, and yes, not every day goes according to plan. So I thought it'd be really good to show you what you can do in a pinch if you're running late or it's not really a reason. If you've got stuff in the fridge, it's quicker to prepare that than it is to go through a drive-through. But I thought it would be interesting to show you what you can get at our friendly Macca's. And I just got my usual coffee, but you can buy, and this is Australia, this is Karratha prices. So America, I know it's a lot cheaper than it is here, and potentially down in Perth it's a lot cheaper than it is here, but they're just sausage patties. Okay, two of them, and they were $2.90 for the two sausage patties. I think I've ordered normal meat patties, so this is breakfast time, so I got the sausage patties, but at lunchtime you can get the normal patties, and that was $2.90, so it's $1.45. So it's the same. It was the same price. It was about $3 or $4 for 3 patties for lunchtime. So that's what you can do in a pinch. You could also buy a breakfast McMuffin with the sausage and egg if you could trust yourself to remove the bun. If you can't trust yourself to remove the bun and you want to stay good, don't get the burger. Don't get too caught up in the hows and the whys if you're running late, if you're in a situation where that's all you can order. Because the stress of getting hung up on what you're having to eat is far worse for your body, your thyroid, your stress, everything else, than actually having the McMuffin or the sandwich. All right, so don't get stressed about it. Do what you can do. Keep moving on at the next meal. Okay, that's the beauty of Carnivore. It is actually really easy to just at the next meal pick up where you left off and have the meat. But having said that, today I've got a chockers day. I have to go and have a new passport photo taken because my current passport looks actually nothing like me at all, and every time I go away and travel, which you know is in my future, I panic about being turned away at immigration because I don't look like me anymore. Today lunchtime will likely be another pickup, but I will pick it up from a cafe. I already know what I'm going to grab on my way through, and it is more keto than carnivore, but you do what you can do. Okay, I don't stress about that.
and it will be a frittata muffin thing, which has bacon, egg, and likely other things in it. It is homemade at this cafe, so it won't be too bad, but it also usually has tomato and onion in it. I don't stress about that, okay? I would call technically carnivore. If you've watched Keto Twins at all, they call themselves technically keto, because it's whatever keeps you on the straight and narrow for the most part. And I've said in other videos, I'm pretty much 80% carnivore if you cross it over, you know, every day. Some days I go a bit keto, some days I go normal food. It depends on where I am, the situation I'm in, but I never beat myself up over what I'm doing in any given moment. I'm always doing my best, just as you are always doing your best. So don't stress, okay?
Predicted, back at the office now, and this is what I picked up. This is the breakfast frittata that is always sold at my local cafe, and I will whack it in the microwave and that's what I'll have. And so, as I said this morning, it's always got tomato and onion in it. I don't stress about that, okay? Mostly carnivore, it's mostly good ingredients, and I'm not stressing about having to try and find time to get home and so on. I have hair in my face. There we go. That will be Thursday's lunch. Happy Friday. Very excited it's Friday. It's going to be a long day though, because I have to do lots of things again at lunchtime. Today I'm going to also pack my lunch thermos, which is over there heating up, because I just put water in both my coffee thermos and my food thermos to heat it up before I put the food in, which makes it stay hotter longer. This morning for breakfast, I fancy some steak. Okay, as I've said before, I keep pre-made steak in the fridge. Normally I've already cut it up. I haven't done that yet because I've been busy the last couple of days. So I thought I will just do it while we're chatting. The other day, one of the days, I heated up the steak on the stove, which you can totally do because by the time you cut it into little slices, it heats up super quick. But today I'm going to do it just for other people in the microwave. Now this isn't a standard microwave, this is a convection microwave. So this is a metal tray, and I put all the steak slices on the tray, and in less than 2 minutes I have breakfast. It couldn't be more simple. Carnivore is like minimalism of diets. It's a good reason to keep meat. That's me with all the gristle cut off. But what I'm also going to do, the sausages that I cooked at lunchtime the other day, I am going to put a bunch of those in there as well for my thermos. Now, here I'm going to say, sausages aren't carnivore, sausages are this, sausages are that. Okay, technically carnivore as described earlier, like the Keto Twins, and if this is what keeps me from some crappy takeaway or whatever, then this is going to be far better for me. You can totally get, you know, really well-made sausages. I never know how much I need to take. That seems ridiculous amount, but as I said, I bring it home with me. My husband will eat it. It will get used up, so no issue there. I'd rather have too much with me than not enough. So I'm gonna whack this so you can see in there. I hope I've got the camera right because I can't see the screen. That is ready to go. Convection. So if you don't have a convection, I would probably heat it up on the stove because it will just taste better. The microwave, you do you. The thing that I always keep in the fridge is a little container of cut up butter. If you don't understand the butter component to carnivore, it's really, really important. No, it doesn't put on weight. My understanding is it's not classed as a dairy, it's classed as a fat. So if you've got thyroid issues or dairy issues, butter will be okay. Grass-fed butter and organic if you can afford it, is the way to go. For Aussies, here's a tip, grass-fed, if you get a butter that's from New Zealand, it'll be grass-fed. Okay, you don't need to buy the expensive, you know, Kerrygold, which is like $10 or something. The Woolworths organic butter comes from New Zealand cows. Okay, so I'm getting organic and it's grass-fed. So grass-fed means no grains, which can lower the omega-3s that you're getting from the butter and the vitamin D levels that you're getting from the butter. So I keep up in the fridge because when I have my steak on its own, I will nibble on butter between each mouthful. Yes, I do. It kind of behaves like a sauce. If you've been doing carnivore and you're finding you're getting the runs, you're going to the toilet a lot, could be because you're heating up your butter. A lot of people find that heated up butter does not behave very well in their belly. Having a little bite of cubed butter in between your mouthfuls of meat gives you that butter flavor. It's delicious. It increases the fat. My meat that I eat is generally like rump or eye fillet, that kind of thing. They're not high in fat. Ribeyes, I'm yet to try a ribeye, but the cheapest one that I've seen in the supermarket's like $40 for one ribeye. So I'm like, I haven't tried that yet, so that's cool. So this ups the fat ratio of the meat, and I find it delicious. I wouldn't sit down and eat butter on its own. Many carnivores do. I can't do that any more than I can do gristle and fat on meat. But a mouthful of meat and a little butter together, chewed up in my mouth, is delicious to me. While I'm waiting for that, I have rinsed out my thermos, which was heating up, getting that ready for putting the sausages straight in. A cutlery at the clinic, have to worry about that. Keep that warm, hot and steaming. And by doing it that way, because I undercook the meat a little bit when I cook it in the beginning, it's still a little bit pink in the center, so it's not too overdone. Again, you do you. That's my little container of steak for breakfast to have with my butter. And while the sausages, oh, there's another bit of steak. While the sausages are hot, they are going into the thermos. So lunch is ready. It's breakfast. So it's been about a week and a half since the last little clip Friday morning, and I got so busy that day that I forgot to film eating the thermos food. But that's what I ate. I ate the thermos food, and I didn't even realize till I was editing yesterday, and then went, I didn't finish. So here we are, and another busy day, Thursday. You're propped up in my cupboard because I don't even have time to go and get the tripod out. So cheers to you. Scrambled eggs, by the way, with cottage cheese. That was my week of eating, and it continues the same. I hope that was helpful to you. Don't forget, when you're eating a typical Australian diet, a typical American diet, whatever, when you are eating normally without being on a diet, we tend to eat the same things over and over and over again. How many families do spaghetti bolognese on a Thursday night, fish and chips on a Friday night, Monday night is leftovers from the weekend? We do this on rotation all the time. What happens is we find a way of eating that suits us, and we think we've got to come up with something new and exciting for every day of the week. We do not. You will rotate to the same things over and over and over again, and as long as you are enjoying them, cool. You don't need to find new things to do. You don't need to find fancy recipes that take up your time and effort and money. I find the more complicated the recipe, the more likely you are to want to add in other foods. So when I make something fancy that is carnivore, which there's so many great recipes out there now, that kind of kicks in my ex-cook, and I want to make something else, and then make something else, then keto slides in, then just normal food slides in, because you're enjoying the cooking process. So I tend to keep things really, really simple. As long as I'm enjoying them, I'm all good. So that was my week. I hope it helped. I would love for you to share with me, do you eat the same things every day? And is there something simple that you do that can help me out on these busy days? Until the next one, see ya.